talents at the disposal of the club and the local and global community in association with Rotary. As a Rotarian, you will be expected to live by the four-way test. And I know as a prior Rotarian, and everyone on our meeting today is familiar with the four-way test, but I'd like to make a couple of comments about the four-way test because I think it is such an important part of who we are as Rotarians. In an increasing diverse and complex world, discerning truth, ensuring fairness to others, acting in a manner that builds goodwill and better friendships, and in the end is beneficial to all concerned, requires us to consider multiple perspectives. Living by the four-way test creates an opportunity and an obligation for each of us to grow personally, professionally, and as an organization. Nance, I am so delighted that you have joined this the E-Club of Canada 1. I think it's a lovely match for you. I encourage you to wear your Rotary pin and display your membership predominantly and as a way of sharing with others our vision of taking action that creates lasting change across the globe in our communities and in ourselves. So fellow Rotarians who are gathered here, it's my privilege and honor to welcome your and our newest member, Rotarian Nance MacLeod, to the E-Club of Canada 1. Welcome, Nance.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That was lovely. Thank you.
Welcome.
Appreciate it. I'm excited to be part of the club and a part of a new district. I've been 7090 for so many years that this is all brand new to be in a new district too. That's going to be fun.
It's wonderful. And we have a coaching initiative in our district. So
yes, yeah, and I'm here to
just
help.
saying. Great.
Okay, thank you very much, Donna. Nance, sorry, I should know this, and it might have been mentioned earlier, but your classification is consulting. What is the classification for you?
It'd be probably executive coaching and consulting.
Executive coaching,
Yeah.
Right. Okay, perfect. Well, welcome to the gang.
Okay.
Welcome to our family, Nance.
Yes. I've already know most of you now from the chats.
Another Dutch in the family.
There we go.
Oh no.
Hey, I got Scottish blood too, so.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I was going to say that the surname is rather disguising you rather well, then, if that's the case. Okay, so shall we go on with the next part of the program, Ellie?
Yes, please. We're doing really good.
Okay, well, at the end we have an open mic for membership ideas, so we'll continue with the published agenda. The next section of the agenda, it's great to see Fabi and Katharina join us today from this e-Satellite Club that they have set up. Fabi is the president of that group this year. They're a fantastic group. They've been extremely active in terms of having their meetings, and I think you've been very, very sort of very successful in having, a number, notwithstanding that they're from across the globe, even more global than the RECCO group, they've been very successful in having very good attendance at their various meetings and so forth. So with only a few months under their belt, having been chartered on Rotary Day in February of last year, they've had an enormous number of meetings, have had great participation, and we welcome them here today to talk on our membership theme. So we'll turn the floor over to Fabi and Katharina.
Well, thank you so very much. So, of course, the topic of membership is very important to us. Of course, as like you said, a very new club, we are always looking for more new members that are also interested in a flexible schedule and, well, the same kind of international world view that Rotary always sends off. So we are very glad that we have had some new people who are interested in our club. Anel, who you might have already seen at the coffee chats of the RECCO club. He's basically already a member. We already adopted him since he was also at the charter event as well. So he's been with us already quite a while. And Jubril, also a new candidate who is joining us from Nigeria. We're very happy that we will have a presentation of him explaining his life and his interests to us very soon. So we are very excited about those new prospects. Generally, as we are a new club, we don't only have to look out for new members, but also we are still in the learning curve of getting to know how we structure our meetings, that it fits best for all of us. Of course, the time zones are quite challenging. I think that is also something that you know quite well, but of course with people from Canada to Australia joining us, it's sometimes a challenge, and we are still trying out which time suits us best. But on the topic of meeting structure, that is also something that we have learned, that it is very, very important to have a meeting structure, not to have everybody kind of tuning in and out, and so that we also get things done. So our new plan that we actually got to really like is that we have once a month a formal meeting where we also have a guest speaker, sometimes a member of us. So for example, very shortly we will have Jubril, our new candidate, talking to us about, like I said, his life, his interests, and why he wants to join Rotary. We do this with every person who has already joined our club and wants to join our club. Mostly we do it with a presentation with about 5 pictures, that we get a sense of the person, a sense of that person's life. And not only do we have speakers from our own club, but in the next time we will have very interesting talks from outside our club about topics like environmental responsibilities and also climate change. From our member Amy, we will also have a talk about Aboriginal communities, also a very interesting subject that we will learn more about. And the other kind of meeting that we have once a month is the informal meeting. As we are a very new club, we still want to get to know each other even more. So in those meetings, we first get together, we first have a little talk between the whole group, and then we send people in 2 or 3 people in a group into those, how do you call it? Those breakout rooms. Thank you very much. And give those people a chance to talk for about 15 minutes more about their lives, about their interests, about their jobs. And we realized that this was an amazing thing, and we really enjoyed it. We will keep doing that, and always we got very positive feedback on this kind of idea. Well, and on the topic of projects, we are of course very, very happy that we are collaborating with you on the Project Amigo, and that we also get a district grant to support Project Amigo even more. And also, as Ellie gave us an amazing opportunity to join the volunteer week at Project Amigo for the next year. We are very excited about that. I believe we are going to talk in the next meeting more about who could possibly join the volunteer week in Mexico, as this is of course a very interesting idea, and I think very many people are going to be interested in it. Yeah, so I think now I got you a bit more up to speed on everything new with us, from members to meeting structures to our project ideas. So if you have any more questions about the SECCO Club, I'm very happy to answer them.
If I may, I'd like to, first of all, thank Katharina for being here today and doing a small presentation on our club. I was in a hearing, but the universe helped me, and 3 witnesses were excused from the parties, so I was able to join. But in any case, Katharina is our treasurer. She has been doing a great job. And it has been so nice to connect to all our members, because we are realizing we have so much in common, and we get a deep connection very fast, either because we have common interest or common knowledge on Canada, either because we know and we share our immense love and gratitude for Rotary exchange programs, and also because we all have this very international interest and profile, kind of. So, and it's been lovely to meet and to connect to these amazing people that are already becoming really good friends of us. So it's been amazing. And thank you again for the opportunity, especially Ellie and Judy and all the RECCO members involved in putting us together. Thank you.
Thank you, Fabi. I must admit, when I saw you on screen, and you know, with increasing age, one's memory begins to go, and I was thinking, wasn't Fabi supposed to be in an arbitration today? So I was, but I didn't want to say that in case I had misplaced it in another meeting that you had a conflict in terms of being able to attend. So that's fantastic that you've been able to attend. I mean, SECCO has an interesting concept because it's got 10 members, and yet it has members on 5 different continents. So it's, I think, you know, with the potential for the African edition of Nigeria, you're going to have to start focusing, I think, on finding a member from Asia, because that'll be the only part of the world that isn't representative, which becomes incredibly challenging to have a time frame when all members are able to attend, because I think it's Amy who's in Australia. So trying to have a meeting time, somebody is almost always in their pajamas, I think, is when you're trying to have a meeting that has everybody to attending. So if with that sort of response to, does anybody have any questions or comments? I see Sharon's got her hand up. So Sharon, do you want to?
I just have a comment/question for Fabi. I just want to know if she's met with Elisa, because they're both in Sao Paulo and they're both lawyers. Have you actually met face to face?
Not yet, especially because of the pandemic. We are still a little bit recluded. And our lives are not normal yet, but it was really funny because we started talking and we realized we have friends in common, but we hadn't met before.
Awesome.
Okay, does anybody else have any comments or questions for Fabi or Katharina? Judy, is that a hand up, or you just play with your screen?
I'm trying to unmute myself. So you said that some of you are going to go to Project Amigo. Which work week are you going to?
We still don't know. Ellie offered us the opportunity to go to either week. We still haven't had our next meeting that will take place on the 28th. So we will talk more about that, see who has the availability to go, and then choose the week. But we're very excited. Thank you for the opportunity.
That's great. Well, I hope to join you whenever that is and have you visit us down there in Mexico while you're there.
That will be super. Thank you.
They've been given the opportunity to either join the English Tutoring Week in January or the Canadiana Week in February, where quite a few Albertans will be. So whoever gets selected, and that is from a very generous donation from one of our members who makes the registration possible. They will
Oh,
they may have to do some fundraising for their flight.
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I
Because
don't,
one of the reason, and you know, I know that we are not short on time. I just quickly want to mention that they had a nice number of donations they received for their charter, and they used $1,200 out of their budget towards a project and apply for district designated funds to help the Sushitlan Homework Club, the study center, with supplies. So they will have an opportunity to go and actually see their own project.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so it's great. Yeah.
and that interestingly enough, just so that everybody knows, I think the original budget was 1,200 with 600 from the club and 600 from district designated funds. But with the surplus of funds being available from the district, it's now been changed to a $2,400 project, so 1,200 from SECCO and 1,200 from the district funds. So it's rather unusual to get more money than anticipated from the district, Donna, but we were delighted to see it. And in fact, for other clubs, it's even more significant because you could have even applied for more, but it's the availability of funds within SECCO that constrained that project. So it was fantastic to get that kind of support from district for a fledgling club to be able to undertake that kind of project. SECCO, of course, has sort of most of its members are from the Rotary alumni with exchange students. And I don't know whether everybody has seen the fact that Rotary, Donna, maybe you were going to talk about that, were you? The sort of fact
No,
that
I just, yeah, you go ahead.
let me turn it over, because the exciting thing is, of course, there's been a lot of email traffic.
May I, before we do that, may I
Okay.
introduce somebody to you?
Sure.
She doesn't have her video on, but she just joined us. Natalia, are you available?
Yes, I'm just joining from outbursts. I just finished a shift volunteering at the Nordheimer Ravine in Toronto, and really looking forward to observing the meeting. And sorry I can't join in a more visual capacity to see right now.
So Natalia is could you say a little bit more about your scholarship and all that?
Yes, I'm extremely grateful to the Rotary Foundation, as I've been selected to be a Rotary Peace Fellow. And so that means that I've been studying remotely from Toronto at ICU in Tokyo, Japan, along with there's 7 of us total, along with 6 other colleagues who are all over the world right now as well. And my thesis is focused on braiding Indigenous and Western ways of knowing for the protection of the Great Lakes, specifically Lake Ontario. I'm also the founder of Our Future First, which is an engagement design and mediation consultancy, and we're running a project in the Danube currently in October. Is that an okay introduction?
That is great. So Natalia, once she has finished her scholarship, she may be interested in joining SECCO. So we have chatted, and SECCO has chatted with Natalia. And thank you that you were able to join us. I knew that you were occupied, so that's great. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ellie. Thank you, Natalia. Yeah, as over the last week, there's been a fair amount of email traffic about the restarting of the exchange in-person programs from Rotary. So I'll let Donna say a few words about that. That's a very exciting development.
Yes, we are really excited, and Keith, if you checked your email this morning, you probably got a notice with some very short timelines, but we are very excited that this opportunities opened for exchange to start up again. And we are really looking for clubs to participate, and hopefully we'll be able to make all of the pieces work for everyone. I just wanted to mention to Katharina and Fabi that I really appreciated listening to you speak today about how you're organizing your meetings and creating this strong sort of fellowship amongst your group. When I visit clubs, I really try to encourage them to think about how they're coming together and those kinds of things. So you've provided just a wonderful example of how you can create across the world this connection. And I think it's also in the context of the youth exchange to have that. It really emphasizes for people how important, for other Rotarians, how important youth exchange is in shaping people's lives. So just a great pleasure. We just a note, I'll probably be following up with you, because one of the things we want to highlight at our conference is the long-term impact of youth exchange on individuals and on Rotary. So my conference committee may be reaching out to you, because we would like to have a panel and share what you shared today more broadly with people. So thank you.
I was reading Donna's mind already.
Well, it is interesting because, I mean, most of the members of RECCO know about my background. I mean, I was a Rotary Foundation scholar to Australia in 1980-81. And I did not, between that time and the time I joined Rotary in the early 2000s, Rotary International had a Rotary Connections concept where they kept in touch with exchange people and foundation scholars and that sort of thing. But it took me more than 30 years to actually come back and join Rotary. To be perfectly honest, I think the Rotary Connections aspect was too much of a soft sell.
Okay.
If we're looking to attract new members, the most likely people that we're willing to attract is someone who has personally had a connection with Rotary, which has given them a fantastic experience in terms of an opportunity that they would not otherwise have had. And to be perfectly honest, I think, and I know, and Elliot will probably reinforce this, when they were doing, I don't say we, because I was not directly involved in it. It was Ellie and Sharon and a number of other people who really were the impetus behind sort of contacting the people who joined SECCO. But it was very difficult, Donna, to get information about sort of exchange students that we could contact in order to try to attract them to the club. And if we're looking for membership opportunities, to me, Rotary International is missing the boat by not trying to focus on those connections with people who might well join Rotary. I'll give you another personal experience. I mean, everybody knows we're doing a sponsored walk next month in early October to raise funds. 10 members of our club are walking 10 kilometers in 10 different jurisdictions to raise money. And I approached a friend of mine, a very sort of successful lawyer in Toronto who I've known for years and years, to say, will you sponsor me? And he came back within about a nanosecond and he said, Keith, you probably don't know this, but Rotary paid for my master's degree at Yale. He was a Rotary Foundation scholar. I stay at his house. I did not know that about him. And he came back and he said, anytime Rotary asks, I will support. And he sponsors me. He's contributing $500 as a sponsor for my walk for RECCO. And again, I did not, it's remiss on me that I did not know that in terms of his background to Rotary. But if we're looking to improve membership, to me, that's the class of people that would be the easiest people to try to convince to become more involved in Rotary.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I don't know what the issues are with the tracking, but time and time again, when you hear people who are engaged in Rotary, it's because of a connection like the one you talk about, or being involved in Interact, or that sort of thing. That's what all of our youth programs are really impactful in terms of an engagement strategy. I just want to mention, now that 30 seconds, we're having, there is a virtual walk to support polio eradication. So I don't know if you choose to link to that, but your funds would actually contribute to polio eradication, and the credit goes to your club in terms of dollars raised. So
okay,
that's my plug.
Okay, no, that's fine.
We were already on the topic of
We're all
membership
Rotarians.
anyway.
We're used to that, Donna.
Okay.
Irene has a question.
Okay.
Yeah, Donna, it would be interesting to see the statistics of how many scholarship recipients become Rotary members, because I remember being at a district conference in somewhere in Alberta. I can't remember where we went to the last one, and they gave the statistics on youth services. So those would be, the other memberships. They wouldn't have been the scholarship though, and how many of those youths actually join. And it was a very low amount. It was only 4%. And I know that, in some cases, 70% of the budgets go towards youth services. So it would be interesting to see a statistic on the scholarship, because you're attracting a different level.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just a question. It would be interesting to see that.
Fabiana has her hand up.
Oh, sorry. Hi, Fabiana. Go ahead.
Thank you. Just first of all, Donna, it would be a pleasure for us to join the conference. Besides having a lot of former exchange students, we have one member in particular that is Laura from Germany. She is a very enthusiast of the exchange program. She's very involved also with Rotax in Germany. And she has just organized a Rotax conference just before the RI World Conference.
Okay.
And she would probably be a great asset to the conference. And besides this, in talking about membership to either Donna or to RECCO, I believe that we could talk, maybe not here, we could have another talk about some things that have popped up in our club about having more flexibilities or less formalities and things like this that for us is very important on joining SECCO and joining Rotary. So perhaps this talk may be important.
Yes, I would love to come and hear this firsthand from you, because I think it would help me have some content to share with people, to really, when I talk to other clubs about, if you want to be flexible, this is what people are saying they really want in terms of flexibility. And so Keith has my email. If you could let me know when you're meeting, and if I have it on I'd love to join you and just listen to you for a little while.
Thank you.
Yep. No, I will send your contact information on to Fabi, so make sure she has it. And I, Donna's schedule is incredibly sort of cluttered, I'm sure. So it might be, Donna, if it's okay with you, that they'll just, notify you of what's happening in terms of their meetings, and then, because I'm sure there's going to be conflicts along the line. So at
Yeah.
some point in time when you're able to join, Fabi, if you just keep her copied on what your meeting plans are, then, she can probably join in on one or other of a meeting that best fits her schedule. So later on today, I'll just forward her email address to you, so you've got it. I know Donna's meeting with the club in November, but that doesn't necessarily mean she can't meet with you guys earlier if it works.
Great, thank you.
So Donna, just a quick guide for you to help with your scheduling is they are posting their meeting dates, I believe, on our website right now.
Yes.
Ellie?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just to try and coordinate your busy schedule, you might want to check that out.
Well, I
Okay.
think considering that most Rotary meetings are during the week, SECCO meets on a Saturday. So that would be
Perfect.
probably-
I'm free.
Okay, in case we haven't noticed, we've moved into the open mic section of the program. I think, Ellie. So it's an open forum now in terms of anybody who might have any comments or suggestions on the membership front, or in terms of whatever at this point in time. So if anybody wants to come in, feel free.
Can I, Ellie? Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was a district governor and had training, as did some others who are on the call ahead of time, from this case from Monty Odenard, a famous vice president of Rotary International. He said that we should all have a farm team mentality, like a baseball farm team mentality, where you've got one person at bat, one person in the dugout, and one person in the minor leagues. They've been scouted but not yet signed. And so he challenged us at the meetings. He was kind of like in your face, sort of, if you're serious about this, don't go to a meeting without having phoned someone to invite them to that meeting. Now, I found that sort of unsettling as time went on. But anyway.
So you began to lose your friends as you were calling them over and over again to bring them.
Well, the truth was that I was encouraged to find more. I soon went through the list, and then it was like, well, how serious am I about this membership business? And at various times, just because I took that on as a bit of a challenge, I was very successful. But the point I wanted to make was about the middle class growth and where we're likely to find the number of new Rotarians to give the extra 100,000 that our current president is looking for. The advanced economies are expected to grow by about 0.5% in the immediate future, whereas the emerging economies are going to grow by 6%. So it's not going to be a surprise to see that the middle class, which grew from 1.8 billion in 2009 to 3.5 billion in 2017, it is in the emerging economies that we're going to find those Rotarian friends, and it's e-clubs that allow for that sort of penetration the most easily. Just try to set up a physical club and to arrange for all of the things that people struggle with. It just seems to make so much more sense to duplicate or franchise, if that is even the right word, this kind of mentality. So, Donna, I'm not sure to what extent you can encourage folks in your ear to do or think like that, but it does seem to me those are two important ideas. One, to have a farm team mentality for every individual, and secondly, to look for growth in the middle class economies in places other than in the established advanced economies.
Yeah, I agree with you, because the trends that John Hugo shared with us are, I think someone mentioned 20, it's actually been 20 years that in North America and Great Britain, membership has been declining, and it is in countries where there's growth in the middle class. And I've already written down farm team, and I've been thinking about e-club, so thank you very much.
Thanks, Ellie. Thanks, Keith.
Okay, anybody else having any suggestions? Okay, well, if not, I have a couple of things that I want to mention. Judy and Ron, I understand, are celebrating today. Is it anniversary day today, Judy?
Yes, it is. Our seventh anniversary is today.
Uh-oh, 7-year itch. You better get going.
Yeah.
I should also say it's my wife and I's anniversary on Friday, so we're celebrating this week as well. And you've put me on the spot to try to figure out how many years it is, but it's a lot more than 7. Let's put it that way. And in fact, again, it's a family week for me, because one of the reasons why I came to Alberta at this point in time is on Friday of last week, Friday the 13th, I celebrated my 65th birthday at my son's house in South Edmonton. We had a little barbecue potluck gathering, which was a lot of fun. As I said, it's my wedding anniversary on Friday, and it's also my granddaughter's 4th birthday on Friday. So Andrew's oldest daughter is having a birthday on Friday. So it's a fellowship week, I think, in terms of things that are happening. So go ahead.
How long are you staying in Edmonton?
Well, 4 weeks from when I arrived. Jim Kenyon is saying I'm a youngster, so it's. I arrived last Wednesday, and I'm 4 weeks from last Wednesday, so I leave on I think it's the 8th of September is the planned departure. If I was going to go through all of the rigmarole of international travel, it had to be a long period of time, I think, in terms of what it is. And luckily, I've got a work environment where I'm able to work from wherever I am, so I can do 4 weeks without having it all to be holidays. So it's good, but it's good to be back home for a while. Okay, if nobody has got anything else that they want to contribute. Oh, Sharon, are you putting your hand up again?
It's a bit of a sobering thing that I want to share, but I just would like everybody to, and I know Ellie's been experiencing this for the past month or more, just to think about British Columbia right now and the wildfires. Our 2 major routes, our 2 major highways are closed down. People can't come and go. And now we had a mudslide here that closed down another highway. I personally have family members and friends that are on evacuation alert and evacuation orders. So just your prayers and your thoughts, and hope that people can keep their homes. The smoke levels have been hazardous in the Okanagan area, and we've even had it down here in Chilliwack where we haven't been able to go outside. So anybody with any kind of respiratory issues and that kinds of things are really, and we've had record deaths because of the heat wave that we had a little while ago. So it's been not a great summer for Columbia, especially trying to regroup with tourism. And this
absolutely.
Vancouver last week, and it is dead. Yeah, there's the tourists, there's no cruising, and there's very few tourists in the Lower Mainland Vancouver area. So together with the pandemic, it's not been a great summer for British Columbia and Alberta, parts of Alberta.
And without the fires, of course, with COVID, you would have expected tons of Canadians to be there touristing, right? But it was really startling to see the sort of news of BC saying, please don't come, because you would think it would be exactly the opposite message. But I did see that
all the campsites are shut down, basically. Right. So you can't even go camping with your family. So basically, it's we're closed down because of the fires now, not the pandemic. So anyway, keep that in your thoughts and prayers, everybody. And I don't know if Ellie's able to go out anymore, or if she's still locked in her house because of the ash and smoke.
Right. Oh no, now it's the rain and the wind.
Well, that was the upside. The weather forecast this morning, the forecasters were saying BC may finally get some rain over the next week. So that must be a good thing.
It's not a lot. It's not a lot.
Actually, it's gone slightly further than that. It was on CTV News last night. Several of the areas are asking any tourists in the area to get out of there.
Oh, really?
They need the accommodation for people fleeing the fires.
Wow.
And they're coming into the larger towns, not being able to find accommodation. So one of the mayors was actually on saying, if you're a tourist, go home now.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's shocking.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
pretty bad.
everybody. Well, we're almost to the end of our time anyway. So thank you to everybody joining us. Thank you to Sharon and Ellie, as always, for the organizational background in terms of this, for Katharina and Fabi, who have joined us, and as always, take part in our activities, which we really appreciate, guys. I mean, as an e-satellite club, you could be ignoring us and just going on in your own way, but we're delighted that you participate and that you invite us to participate in your activities. So it's fantastic.
And
Good to see
welcome
everybody.
Nance. Welcome to
Thank you.
Nance.
Welcome to Nance. Thank you, Donna, for joining
Hey,
us. For the
Happy
event.
anniversary, Judy and Ron. I
you.
should come over for a
Happy
glass of
anniversary.
wine tonight.
Welcome, Nuance.
Okay,
Bye,
thanks,
everybody.
everybody.